Welcome back to the REVan channel. We're in Tampa, Florida, back home. It's nice and hot down here, but that's okay. So about a year ago, I met my man Chris Bennett here. He moved down here from Minnesota, and with him, he brought this amazing 67 Mustang. It's a Bullitt kind of clone replica. It's got its own take. Of course, this is a 67, but became friends with Chris, and we decided to do a video on his car. I think you're gonna like it. Chris, welcome to the channel.
Thank you. There she is.
289.
Yes, sir.
Yep, so for 67, it was, I think, 3 289 options, and then the 390, and then the 6-cylinder.
Yes, that's correct.
Yep, so tell us about this engine.
Well, it's the original engine and transmission in this car. It's the C code 289, so it would have been a 2-barrel factory. It is not anymore. It's an older rebuild. It's got all the common stuff. Holley carburetor, aluminum intake, some headwork,
Nice.
tri-Y headers.
So kind of like it's got it's kind of like themed up like a 271 hypo, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's cool. What else you got going on under the hood?
It's it's got I got a 4-core aluminum radiator. It's kind of standard stuff down here in Florida. We got the Shelby valve covers. Just kind of the cool go fast stuff that everybody did.
I was going to actually ask you if you had to do anything to adapt the car to this kind of hot Florida weather versus when you were driving it up in Minnesota.
No, actually not. This is how I had it set up at home, and it runs at 180 all day, never overheats.
Oh, that's fantastic. Got the Mallory ignition.
Yep.
Manual brakes, manual steering, right?
Yep. But the brakes are 4-wheel disc.
What carburetor and intake you running?
It's kind of an old school Torker 2 with a twist, and then it's got a 600 Holley.
Kind of perfect for the horsepower level, huh?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about putting like the Sniper or anything like that on there?
I don't know. I kind of go back and forth on it. I kind of like the old school stuff. I wouldn't mind completely redoing the whole engine someday, maybe a stroker. But for now, it runs really good, and just having a lot of fun with it.
That's cool. Have you ever had the hankering to put the 390 in there?
No, not really. I like the way it handles with the lighter engine.
Yeah,
manual steering and stuff,
We've heard this car. It sounds fantastic. You'll hear that in a few minutes. But I love the Cobra valve covers and the sticker, the 289 high post sticker. Just a cool car. So, Chris, you said you've owned the car about 10 years. What condition was it in when you got it?
It's a really solid car from Northern California. It's almost all original sheet metal, even the quarters in this car. I did do a new hood because it had a really ugly fiberglass hood on it when I got it.
Right.
And the car was red. It was actually a Chevy red.
Oh, I got to get rid of that.
Yeah, so. And I was always going to do the dark green, so that didn't really matter to me.
So you bought the car with the idea of doing the Bullitt themed car?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
What were some of the mods you did right out of the gate?
Well, it just kind of started, it was just the process of making it look like the Bullitt was kind of what I did first, because it ran really well, shifted well. So I did cleaned up some things in the interior, well, took it apart first, and then had all the body and paint done.
Right.
And then put it back together with all the little Bullitt stuff.
So let's start in the front, because obviously there's that iconic license plate, and then the grille.
Yep, with the pony delete, the corral and horse and bar delete.
Yep. I'll have you take us through the car, and I love the Bullitt, and I know some things, but I'm certainly wouldn't call myself a Bullitt expert. So let's go through the car from front to back and talk about what makes this really a Bullitt themed car, and you can talk about the suspension and mods along the way. So why don't we start with the front?
Okay. Well, obviously the JJZ 109 is the plate that was on the car in the movie.
Right, Detective or Lieutenant Frank Bullitt.
Yep, Lieutenant Frank Bullitt. The louvered hood. And then if you'll notice, emblem delete on this car. All the emblems. Antenna. And then most of the, like the bottom rocker trim painted, body color, and the mirror. It's not the custom Yankee mirror that he had on the car, but I did the best I could with making it look appropriate.
Yeah, because wasn't the mirror he had like almost mounted down the door?
Yeah, it was kind of bolted right in here, and I wasn't going to drill into the side of my car, so.
I don't blame you with that. Torque thrust wheels, of course.
Yep.
Yeah, you got some upgraded brakes?
Yep. It's got some 4-wheel disc brakes. Torque thrust, 15-inch torque thrust D on the Firestone Indy bias ply tires.
So you're running bias plies.
Yes, sir.
So I'm not shocked that you're running on bias plies because they do give it that really awesome look. And I think you can get more modern tires, but they just don't quite have the look, huh?
Yeah, I agree. And you know, these cars, I think they're kind of originally set up to run. I had radials on this car before, and I think it drives better with these on it.
Really?
Yeah, to be honest, yep.
I'm a little surprised to hear that. What have you done anything to the suspension?
Yeah, I got coilovers in the front. I still need to do some more stuff there, and I want to do put in power steering.
Right.
The rear has KYB gas, kind of a custom leaf spring that I had made, and then also has subframe connectors under it too. Gotcha.
Now there obviously are subtle differences between the 67 and 68s. McQueen's was a 68. This is the Highland green, the dark Highland green, I think is the actual name of the color, right?
That's correct, yep.
And so as far as the body goes, 67 Mustangs have these gills here. The 68 really just has the chrome trim.
Yeah, kind of had a C-shaped chrome trim.
C-shape, yep. And then like that Cobra Jet style stripe on the Cobra Jet models, which came out later in 68. But it's got the beautiful roof design, the fastback design, and then talk to me about the back of the car. Still got the Minnesota plate.
Yeah, don't tell the cops. Yeah, I started, if you watch the movie, the taillight panel was done in like a matte black. So we did that treatment here, including just the black on the gas cap with no emblem.
Nice.
He didn't have backup lights. I still have those, but just the angle cut tips is kind of what, you know, how that car was set up. So it's not exactly like it, but I tried to do, you know, as much as I could.
Yeah, but I think you did a great job. Let's go around to the other side and then we'll take a look at the interior. The car is absolutely beautiful, and Chris drives it a lot. I've seen him at quite a lot of shows and cruise nights and all the different fun stuff down here just outside of Tampa, Florida, where we live. All right, so there's that classic Mustang interior, which I love. I love sitting in these cars. I like driving them. Beautiful dash layout just from Ford. So tell us what you did to give it that extra Bullitt theme.
Well, starting with the dash, is the wood grain is a 68 option. And then, of course, the Shelby steering wheel that I had custom wrapped in leather, just like Steve did. That was one of his requirements for the cars in the movie. And it's got the 4-speed Hurst shifter with the white knob. I do have that Shelby tack on the dash, which he did not have, but
I think it looks cool though.
Yeah. Other than that, it's just, you know, standard black interior. All right, Evan, enough looking. What do you say we go look for a couple black Chargers?
I love it. Let's go.
All right.
You ready to go? Ready to rock. Mustang 289, loving it. Sounds fantastic.
Paradox is the muffler of them.
Okay.
Because people might ask.
Some of your favorite things about driving this thing?
Well, when you drive these cars, you know, they're just, it's real visceral, you know, you actually got to kind of pay attention. You feel the road, the smell, you know. I guess it's just, you know, it's just kind of like you're riding in a piece of history.
Yep, and I would imagine you get a mix of people who just love it because it's a classic Mustang, and then people who pick up on the fact that it's a Bullitt themed car. Is there a difference in the response you get from the people who understand what the car is?
Yeah, you know, most people know what it is. I don't run across too many people that go, what is that? But yeah, it gets a lot of respect on the street. I have never, except maybe a couple haters that want to complain about, oh, that isn't exactly how the car is or something like that, and then you just kind
you always get that a little bit, and then I always are like, well, where's your 68 Mustang?
Exactly. Yeah. I had a guy at a show. No, just
Right.
I had a guy at a show. I pull up, and he goes, "Right color, wrong year." I just thought that's how this is starting out. And then I took first place in that show in my class. So
Yeah, some people are just ridiculous. Oh yeah, it's got that right cackle, just like his car did. You know. Did you have to search out a proper muffler to give it that sound you wanted?
well, I did. I started off with the long tube header, the tri-Y headers, and then I think he had glass backs on the original. So I found this Paradox muffler. It's kind of a half glass back, half Flowmaster kind of a through design. And I was just experimenting, and I put them on. I liked the way it sounded. So.
I think it sounds great. We heard you coming from about a half a mile away, and you weren't even on it.
That's it? Yeah.
Well, we were in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
The Bullitt carb had that gauge package?
No, it did not. That was in the car when I got it. I think just because the temp up here doesn't work.
Right.
In the oil. But I just left it.
Yep. Old cars, pretty much you need 3 gauges. Oil pressure, water temperature, and attack.
That's right.
And even attack is optional.
Yeah, you can hear when this thing gets, close to $6 grand.
Right.
You can kind of hear it, feel it.
Yeah, it starts to wheeze, and
Yep.
with a, we said it has a 600 on it.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's, those carbs aren't really designed for super high RPM.
Right. And I do plan on, future upgrades and more. They're never really finished.
No, they are not. What do you think you do to it in the future?
I want to redo most of the front suspension, and maybe go coilovers on the back too. That's
Nice.
just the shocks. And then I'm, like I said earlier, I'm going to do a power steering upgrade on it.
Right. So fortunate to be able to do these kinds of videos. What a great car, Chris. This is awesome.
Thank you.
This thing really idles nice too.
That was just in its downshift to 3rd gear. It'd get pretty rowdy if we dropped down to 2.
Carb seems really nicely balanced, like for the power and the sound and the way it drives. Fun car.
You're going to have to drive it.
Say what?
You're going to have to drive it.
Oh, you don't have to ask me twice.
All right, buddy.
All right, we're gonna hop behind the wheel. Let's check this thing out.
I'm not used to sitting over here, Evan.
I was gonna say, I appreciate you even letting me drive it. This is really cool. Let me get a little situated before we roll out here.
Those first. Don't be shy now.
All right. Oh man, I already love it. I'm in love.
Yeah, you got to feather the gas a little bit.
Yep. Senses are all aware when you drive these things. Big steering wheel.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to be on top of it driving. Manual brakes, manual steering. I freaking love it, man.
Oh, this went down.
What's that? It's still running. As long as that light's blinking.
Gotcha. He does love it. Look at him. Yeah.
Oh man.
Notice the brake's pretty good though.
Yeah, and it stops straight.
For everyone watching, Evan is driving.
Yeah, the shifter's like just perfect. Like, look at that. I kind of like lay my hand out, and it's right there. Which that's one thing I love about old cars versus new cars, is with the rails up the left side of the transmission, you don't have the shifter in the middle.
Right.
Which these cars seem to fit me better.
It's real comfortable. I think even more so than the new ones.
Oh, no doubt about it. Like the driver position is fantastic in this. That cackle, that Ford cackle, God, I love it.
the steering box and the suspension.
Gotcha.
It does need some improvements there, but other than that, this thing really does drive really well.
Good amount of torque. What gears are you running in the back?
It's a 325.
Nice.
What was in it? That's what I was told. I didn't do any work back there yet.
Yeah, and without overdrive, boy, it would go like crazy with a 411, but it would be annoying to drive.
Yeah, then you'd have to put a 5-speed in it. Yeah, a lot of people say, why don't you resto mod it?
No.
And all that, and put a 6-speed and all that. Like,
No.
Maybe buy another one to do all that too, and keep this one the way it is.
Yeah, no, I think part of the charm of driving these cars is a little bit of wander, the imperfections, the mechanicalness of the car.
And not everyone can drive it. You know, it has a it has a modern day anti-theft device right here in the stick shift and the man pedal on your left foot there. Yep.
All right, let's check it out. Gonna get on it a little bit?
Yeah.
All right, let's check this thing out. I can't thank you enough for letting me drive it. I love these classic Mustangs, just the way they sound and feel. I mean, the new cars are so fast, but it just doesn't compare. Look at the smile on my face, man. This is just glorious. You have to, like you said, pay attention and drive this thing. The manual steering, just the feel of the clutch, the shifter.
Yeah, it's a full experience, isn't it?
It really is. You got the small mirrors, so your head's constantly on a swivel. You know any car on the road can outbrake you. Yep. So you're constantly checking your braking distances and being very careful. Making a left here.
Yep, run left. Yeah, you definitely can't play on your phone in this one like most everybody else on the road does.
Like I said, I put the phone behind me because I was like, I don't want to chance any kind of turn the ringer off on it and everything. I'm even going to wait till this guy clears to make sure nobody's coming.
Appreciate that.
Very careful driving your car. You hear that click and notch of the Hertz shifter?
Yep.
Oh man, this is fun. I could drive this car all day long. Small block sounding good up there.
Well, maybe we'll have to do this again after I make some improvements. Let you have another shot.
Oh man, I'm not going to say no to that. This is just awesome.
Well, what do you think, Evan?
Oh my God. Chris, I got to tell you, I think you're going to make me buy a 67 or 68 Mustang. What an awesome driving car. Just the whole experience, manual steering, manual brakes, bias ply tires, your head's on a swivel the whole time driving it. You're looking for traffic. You're making sure nobody's kind of coming at you. The smallness of the car. I mean, if you want to change lanes, you just turn your head. You could see everything out of this car. You've really done a great job building it and getting it the way that you like it. It looks good, it drives good, and that sound of that small block.
Yep, can't beat it.
Oh man, do you have a favorite thing about the car?
Gosh, I mean, I guess mostly just the way it looks, but the sound. For me, it's got to be the way it sounds, the 4-speed, shifting the gears, you know.
Right.
But
the reaction. One guy went by us in a new Mustang. His head about spun around backwards. Is there a difference between the people who know what the Bullitt Mustang is or people who just think it's a cool old classic car?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, most people just notice that, hey, that's a beautiful car. But, you know, 9 out of 10 people know who the Bullitt is.
They got to give you like the extra thumbs up or the fist pump or something like that when they really know what it is.
Yeah, I've had people on the freeway.
Oh, I believe
trying to yell at me out their window, so yeah.
And I hear the was it Lalo Scriffin that wrote the score for Bullitt?
That's right.
I think that's his name. Yep. I just heard that in my head the whole time. We were looking for the Charger, the black Charger. Yep. Did not see one today.
Yeah, they're hard to find too.
So Chris, thanks for letting us take a look at your car. Thanks for letting me drive it. I hope we'll see you at a bunch more shows down here. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys like this video. Hit that like button, leave a comment, and Chris, thank you so much.
Thank you.